All right, guys. This is currently, I believe, week 19 or week 20. Let's get straight into the trade recap. This is my first big red week since probably November. I had one, I think, slight red week, I think during December, but it was like $80. That week I barely honestly traded. Wasn't really like, I think it was like Christmas week. I was kind of like mostly off the market, and then I did trade on Christmas Eve. It was I don't even remember what it was. Well, obviously I posted a trade recap on it. I could probably just go back and check. But anyways, I'm yapping. Let's just get straight into it. Um, yeah. So going into this day, I was honestly still kind of like not overall bullish. I was kind of bearish, but like I found a really good trade to at least back to this high. So overall, I thought we did have this 4 hour to the left of us, but part of me also was still a little bit bullish just because this is a huge range. We can still trade back into it even higher. And then right here during this level, this line, past this line is this 4 hour fair value gap. We had a 4 hour fair value gap right there to the left of us. So at this point, I'm over here looking for longs, for maybe potential continuation. So I see this 15. So I was thinking like, all right, so if we are gonna oh, that's Tuesday. I was thinking if we are gonna respect this bullish fair value gap or disrespect it, then we're just gonna get pushed past it and potentially inverse and look for shorts. But no, we were respecting it pretty nicely, and this day was a lost day, but I wasn't too mad about it. I kind of liked the trade, or I did like the trade, I should say. As you can see, oh, it was a 30-second trade. 30-second, yeah, it was a 30 on the 30-second time frame. Yeah, I was honestly planning to break even. Honestly, I don't even remember where I was gonna break even. I don't even think I really had a break even. We had no really like fair value gaps around these levels. We probably did out in the 2 or 3 minute. I just can't really remember. This was a decent trade. I literally got stopped out by a couple ticks, as you can see. Boom, stopped me out, and then inevitably hitting my take profit later on. But stuff happens. But that was a solid trade. I liked it honestly. I would say that was the only valid loss I took this week. The other losses, there's things I could fix on, and we'll go over that more. Tuesday, real quick. Honestly, I shouldn't have taken either of these trades. Or this one was decent, but like it was just annoying because it had a quick break even. It was pretty annoying. Okay, so going into this day, we had a 15-minute tap. Also, it was a 1 hour with a 2 minute inverse fair value gap. Initially, yeah, we had a 1 hour open. We tapped into it. I entered off the 2 minute IFVG. This was my entry, and then right above us was another 2 minute fair value gap. So just bear with me. There's another like 2 minute fair value gap right there. Realistically, I should have just broke even right there, and it would have stopped me out for breaking pretty fast. But part of me got a little greedy, or not greedy, but just like kind of just like thinking, okay, well, price can at least get to the 5 minute, and then I can go break even. And yeah, it ended up doing that. But realistically, I should just not even taken the trade. So it hit that 5 minute, and then it stopped me out for break even. I was like, all right, I'm fine with that. Like, I got break even, cool. And then I was thinking like, oh, we have a 5 minute right here, 5 minute condition, and then we have a inverse right here. Maybe I can take a continuation shorts. I wasn't paying attention to my bias. Like I was clearly bullish. I don't know why I'm taking a bearish setup when this has no narrative. The narrative is like buys. As you can see, like my original thought process was correct. Boom, buys. Luckily, I got break even on the trade. Boom, we took out the swing low, right? And then it stopped me out for break even. That one was like a little bit better than this one just because certain things. But still, both of them had their issues, and I will admit. And also another thing on Tuesday, on the 4 hour time frame, if it would let me go back. So you can see Tuesday. Okay. Was it on the... Bro, I'm absolutely tripping. Never mind. I'm thinking about another day. But yeah, on the 4 hour, you can see obviously this had gotten taken out. or like this got inversed during pre-market or like Asia. And then we had like pretty strong draws, which I thought this could get taken, which it did later on. This is you know, one of the target points that I wanted to target. That obviously initially or like eventually ended up getting, you know, hit later on, and that's that. So Tuesday was a break-even day, but things that definitely need to be worked on. See how you see that? Obviously, continuation longs ended up playing out. We ended up hitting that high later on, and obviously, my thought process was pretty accurate, honestly. As you can see, that line right there. Ended up going back to that line, or like line. Well, technically, we made like kind of relatively equal highs with these. Like we almost took that high out, so this is a strong, area we could potentially take out, and then probably go lower or just keep going up. But yeah, that was that. Wednesday, we had overall. Let's see. Oh yeah, overall I was pretty bullish considering on ES we were close to. Let me go to ES. ES was close to all-time highs at the time, or like we were at basically, yeah. Oh yeah, we were close to all-time highs on ES on Wednesday, eventually taking it out. So I was thinking, even though ES took out certain highs and then NQ didn't, there's an SMT to the downside. A lot of times with all-time highs, a lot of these SMTs or whatnot doesn't really matter unless you have like a lot of other things backing it up for like shorts. So I was bullish. Like I didn't care about that. I really didn't. You need to have narrative behind those SMTs. Like where are we right now? All-time highs, cool. A lot of times all-time highs, a lot of strategies don't play out. So if I'm looking for shorts on all-time highs, like I need something to back it up. Obviously to the left of me, I need a higher time frame PD array, like a 4 hour or 1 hour. There's nothing telling me that we could reverse off of that. On that day on Wednesday. As you can see, Wednesday right there. You can see this candle right here. As this candle ended up closing at 9 a.m. Obviously, that's the 9 a.m. candle close. As you can see, we closed over this 4 hour fair value gap, and we had none to the left of us. So honestly, I'm expecting us to just keep continuing up at least to this high, just because we have no higher time frame PD arrays to the left of us. So I was correct. My thought process was indeed correct. We ended up opening up a 15-minute fair value gap. We tapped into it, and I believe, yes, it was a 3-minute IFVG that I entered off of, but the trade did end up getting break even, so that's fine. As you see, 3-minute IFVG, I entered right here, quick break even, boom, and then it stopped me out for break even on this candle right here. Like stopped me up exactly right here. Obviously not right here. And this trade would have been a loss. So, like, I'm fine with this break even. I was like, all right, cool. I saved capital. And that's that. But my overall thought process was correct. It's just one of those days where, the trade didn't play out. But that's why we have break even points. That's how we have a higher win rate. Or that's how we get our win rate to be higher, So, yeah. So, let's get to the next trade, which was Thursday. Okay. This is a rookie mistake. I was on the phone that day, just talking to my friend, thinking like we were gonna find it. Was it my brother? I think it was my brother, but I'm not blaming my brother. Completely my fault. Should not be trading on the phone because that could sway your bias. So lesson learned. I've not done that in a while, and I will not do that again. Because I was not initially gonna take this trade, but it was kind of like obviously one of those times where you just start second guessing yourself, like, oh, like maybe no, do not do that. So overall, I was bearish and I was looking for continuation shorts. We ended up honestly rejecting a 4 hour fair value gap to the downside pre-market. Boom, started pushing down, and then we ended up inversing a 1 hour. Or no, at the time this 1 hour was not inverse. So I was just like, okay, cool. We're kind of on this 1 hour, and then we ended up like, hold on, yeah, we ended up tapping into, or no, not tapping, sorry. Over here getting mixed up with my confluences. We ended up getting a 2-minute inversion. Obviously, this 1 minute isn't fully inversed, but on the 2 minute, which was the highest time frame leg among this, that was obviously inversed. But I didn't take into consideration we had a really strong low to the left of us that it could potentially get taken out, which we had like obviously equal lows down here. We had relative equal lows right here, and we had equal lows like among this level, or not this level. Dude, what am I saying? No, yeah, that was right. Sorry, I'm over here getting confused. We had relative equal lows among this level, which was a strong jaw that could get taken out. So I didn't take that into consideration. And not even just that, I shouldn't even been thinking about taking buys, you know? It just didn't really make sense to take buys, considering just how much we've been moving down. Or like maybe it would have made sense if we didn't have that low and then we got the clean inversion. Just because at the time we had the 1 hour to the left of us on Thursday. We had the 1 hour, and it's Wednesday. Clearly, we're talking about Thursday. We had the 1 hour to the left of us, so that's why I was thinking of taking buys, but obviously I was wrong. We ended up taking that low, and then eventually, yeah. I mean, the market didn't really do much during the day, or during the rest of the day. We just kind of just chopped, as you can see, it's like an accordion pattern. So that's that. Okay, Friday. So basically, yeah, I messed up on that. Need to be more vigilant. Need to be more cautious on certain things like that, and just listen to my thought process, and just honestly, just not even be on the phone in the first place. If I'm gonna talk to someone on the phone, it should just definitely just be after I'm done trading, or while I'm in a trade. Just like, all right, I'm in. Like, I usually end up calling my friends like, oh, yeah, take that, or But anyways, this was this trade pissed me off, and I'm gonna not. It's definitely has to do with my emotions. I wanted to be up on the day. I wanted to make money, and it was stupid. I know I shouldn't have done that. Straight up, lesson learned. So going to this day, I was pretty bullish, or kind of bullish. It's just depending what we did. So initially we tapped into this 4 hour the day prior, tapped into it again. We tapped it a third time. So at this point on the fourth time we were on this candle, I was honestly thinking like, okay. So when market opened, we started going down. I was thinking, okay, well, we might take out yesterday's low. We have a 1 hour to the left of us. If this 1 hour right here gets inverse, I'm potentially taking shorts all the way down to these levels, right? Obviously, we didn't do that. We started going right back up. So I'm thinking, okay, why are we going right back up? There's no reason for us to go right back up to this 4 hour and then reject again and then take this low out. Like, we've already been on that area so many times. So I'm thinking, all right, so that area could be, if we go back to that level, which we did, that could be a sign of just respecting that fair value gap and potentially just pushing up, and then thinking all right, we could potentially just keep looking for longs just because of that, which makes sense. And that's that's what I was looking for. That's what happened. And yes, that 4 hour obviously didn't get inverse, but at the time I was just like, I don't really care if it gets inverse. I just need to see if we're gonna push past it. Obviously this closes at 9, and then we went back up, like I said. So I'm over here looking for buys. I believe I didn't mark out this trade. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I got into a buy position and I got break even around this level. And I made the same mistake from earlier this week. Taps into 5 minute. We had an inversion, I believe, on the 30-second, probably right here, 30-second to 1 minute. Tapped into another hard time frame fair value gap. Got break even on the trade. Oh yeah, it was right here. It was a 30-second. Broke even right here. I got stopped out for break even. And then realized we're in a 5 minute. And I was like, all right, well, we are on a 4 hour. The 4 hours to the left of us. Looks like we might be still rejecting it. Obviously, we're not. Why are we back at this level? We're not going to keep pushing down from this fair value gap. Why are we back here? So, yeah, I ended up taking the 30. No, it was a 1 minute or 2 minute. I think it was just right here. It was right here. 1 minute. Not the best inversion, but I think it was a 2 minute. No, I'm wrong. It's a 1 minute. And also the 5 minute didn't even really. Where is it? Why do we have a gap here? What the heck? The 5 minute, there's originally a 5 minute right here. Didn't really fully inverse, or like we still had like honestly like, certain. It would make more sense in my head. It would make more sense if we didn't have a 1 hour right. Oh yeah, no. It would. Damn, I can't speak. It would have made more sense to take shorts if we initially inverses 15, because that would have showed, you know, it disrespecting bullish order flow. So obviously we didn't disrespect bullish order flow. We still are on this 15, and it would have made more sense if we inverse this 15, then potentially look for a 5 minute continuation back to the downside, which we didn't get anything like that. Yeah, honestly, it was stupid, and I think I was just targeting another unfilled 5 on the trade. Yeah, I was targeting this unfilled 5, but that was just a messy trade in my opinion. I did not like that. I should have just not taken anything straight up after that little break even trade. Yeah, that's that. Stuff happens. A lot of things to learn from this week. I need to just be okay with not trading. Well, I've been really good at that. It's just this week I messed up on that. Towards the end, like that Friday trade, this was like low key, like, how can I say this? It was just a forced trade. Like, you can definitely tell it was a forced trade just because I wanted to be, at least have a green day on the week or something. But I should have just been okay with just not taking anything. And then inevitably I ended up down a little bit more than I should have. So, yeah, I'm going to do better next week. Just sit on my hands, just observe, and just look for certain things. Or just, if I see things formulate, then I'll execute. But as of right now, shame on me. This was not a good trade. Like I said, just disappointed myself. But if y'all are thinking anything about these trades, let me know. Let me know on feedback. I know I don't really get any views on these, but it's not really about. That's really not really the point. I know the views will come eventually. Even if it's 1,000, 2,000, don't really care how much it is. Just, I just want to inspire as many people as I can to show y'all this is possible and just show y'all the mistakes that I've made and just be upfront with y'all. But yeah, like, I don't know, just one of those feelings where you've seen too much in the market. I'm going back to this trade where, like, you see we tapped it once, tapped it twice, tapped it another 3 times. We've been rejecting it too many times. If we really were that, like, if this candle right here was really that, like, how do I say this? Respecting bearish order flow that much, we would have at least gone back down to this low, taking out this low, and then potentially keep going back up. It's the fact that this next candle, we didn't even go back down to this low. We keep pushing past this high. And at that point, I should have just only looked for continuation longs. I did, got break even. Then I took second guess myself. Then I took that short. So yeah. It gets to the point where just, this thing has been used and abused this 4 hours. So I'm not really like tripping too much about it just because this should have already done a certain move with this candle. We should have taken that low and we didn't. So that's how I feel about that. And I ended up down around 850 on the week. Last week I was up 600, and then the month of December I was up 2,600. I'm only up 1,000 on the account now, but it's all good. 2 winning days can honestly bring me back 1,000 next week. It's not really about how many trades you take. For example, this week I took 5 trades, 2 break evens, 3 losses, and I ended up down 860. Next week I could only take 2 trades, but that could be 2 W's in my book, and that could end me up $1,000. But that's just in hindsight. I don't really look to make a certain amount. Like, I have to make a 2K. I got to make this. Like, oh, no. Like, whatever falls on my lap, that's what I'm going to execute on. And that's what that's what's going to just fall on my lap. Just follow the rules and everything will come. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.